Okay, we are live. Microphone appears to be moving. So, I'd like to introduce a little project I'm working on. Apparently to no one at the moment. Just while I get my bearings. Okay, we are live. Microphone appears to be. Let's see. Close Twitter and Blue Sky. Go over to Repo. So I'm treating myself to full screen today. I'm working on a library I'm calling Doubloon. And what this is an Expo config plugin for embedding a web app inside a Expo app. So effectively, it gives you a development experience similar to Capacitor or Electron, but with full access to React Native and Expo ecosystems. So I think the idea with this would be that you make your user interface using web technologies, and then you reach out to native APIs using React Native's APIs. Because React Native has a very good ecosystem. It's got a very good dev experience, but particularly on React Native macOS and React Native Windows, it can be hard to put a user interface together. You're often wanting for things like sticky positioning and fixed positioning, which the web does in a heartbeat, and especially things like responsive design. Sorry, I should have said responsive design, because desktop apps can resize. Thus, although maybe we won't, it's at this moment, Expo doesn't support config plugins for desktop. I'm hoping that's not too far off. I'm hoping this time next year we'll have full pre-build working. So just getting ahead of that. So here we have our repo. It is a mono repo actually, and what we've got is an Expo example app. We've got a web app as well, a standard React DOM app, and then we have one library which ships two things. It's got the Expo config plugin, and then it's got the source code, which gives you all the APIs that you're going to use with your web view that you're embedding. There's a bit of setup instructions, some usage instructions. I've talked about how to actually run it. There's quite a lot to how you get this working, because in debug mode you need to talk to a dev server, and in release mode you need it bundled. You need the app bundled into your native app. I should say again, you need to bundle the web app, copy it into a native app's app bundle. That's all very hard to set up, but now that's finally out of the way, I can get into some of the more fun stuff. Like, I think in this stream, I'm going to be interested in putting together some two-way messaging. So I think we're just going to dive straight into that. So first off, we need where is Visual Studio Code? We want to actually run this app. So right now, I actually seem to have Metro running, so I'm just going to dive into Xcode. Just get yet another terminal and make sure that I've done a recent pod install, because I think I've neglected to do it lately. And once that's pod installed, I'm going to open up Xcode and we're going to dive in to the simulator. So I've got a whole bunch of terminals here. I normally don't have quite that many. Okay, no changes. So we go into the iOS example app. Let's just fold up a few of these because they're a bit distracting. Why not? As I said, we're going to the iOS example app, which involves revealing the XC workspace. We open that up, we bring it over, and instead of running it on my physical device, I'll run it on a simulator, which, what have we got open already? We've got iPhone 16 Pro, so we'll use that. There's 18.1, 18.0, and then there's unlabeled. So which one is ours? 18.2. Yep, that'll do us. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to run that native build, and then soon enough, we shall have a simulator running what I call the balloon. So I'm going to show you what we're actually going to be running. It's this app right here. So it's the library as it is right now is providing one API, which is the props by which you connect to the web view. And these are different between debug mode and release mode, and between physical devices and simulators. But beyond that, what we're going to want is some two-way messaging, and that's exactly what we're going to get into right as soon as this simulator has built. So you'll see I've been actually ferreting around inside some of the React Native internals because I had to do a bit of digging to figure out how physical devices are able to communicate with, for example, your MacBook. Because Metro solved that problem. You have the Metro packager, which broadcasts the bundle on port 8081 of localhost. But when you're using a physical device, your localhost is not your dev machine, your MacBook's localhost. So I had to go in and figure out, well, how does it find the local area network IP? And I did find that, and it turns out if you follow that, this shared settings, this JS bundle URL for bundle root, you will eventually find where that IP comes from. Alrighty, so here we have the web app in action. If you, didn't know that clicked. If how do we do this again? If you shake the app, device shake is Control Apple Z. Let's do that then. Control Apple Z. If you toggle the element inspector, you will see this whole thing right here, even in the unsafe area, is a web view. So that whole React DOM app is, as I said, it's a React DOM app. The very cool thing about having our own Electron-like experience is, if I can find the URL for it, we can visit this in a desktop web browser as well. So I think it's this URL. There we go. Same old web app. And you'll see this web app at the moment is not going to be particularly troubled by the safe area because it's not really doing anything. But I think in a world where our app is full screen, we probably at some point want to put the web app in control of the unsafe area, and I think maybe I'll do that in this stream as well. Maybe we'll just start off with that, because right now, when the app is entirely white, it's a bit hard to really understand how the safe area is being treated. So to handle that, let's close all of that. Let's hold on to this one, and we'll go into our web app. So we've got web slash. Now we'll go to a package.json that's in web. Now, what's close to this thing? Okay. So there's our web app. You'll see things like the Vite and React title. Maybe if I close this for a moment, we can look around at the same time. Okay. And I want to visualize the unsafe area. So how can we do that? Let's just take a bit more space doing all that using an app called Rectangle. There should be some CSS lying around. It's either going to be this or this index.css and app.css. Okay, that's clearly not a thing. Huh. That is curious. Okay, so the app.css must be some like component level CSS. So that's probably not the one to be looking at. But yeah, let's start visualizing this safe area. So in the root, this is where, okay, where would be a good place to take the safe area into our hands? I mean, we could just do it in body. I think that's probably a good start. So if we do background color, let's do yellow. So you'll see we're now extending across the whole screen, but we're going to do something fun here, which is padding is going to be a property of a bunch of env variables, which is safe area inset left, for example, with a fallback to 0 pixels. And I need to look this up, so I'm just going to stop there a moment and go find safe area insets. And we're just going to copy an existing example I'm aware of over here. That's exactly what I want. So we're going to put some padding into the body. Now, that's not made a visible change, but if we now, for example, put a background color on this thing, red. Oh, why must you complain about this? Something like that. Okay, that's how React does it. Okay, so we're not in control of the body here. The body actually, there's a React root around this thing as well. So we need to go find that. There's the root. Okay, so if we grab that, actually grab the thing we wrote just a moment ago. Where was it? There we go. Grab that. Shove that into the... Do we want this in the body or the root? Where do we put our style? We put our padding on the body. So we can say the root. Okay, this I think could work. So this means, so the root is going to, the React root is going to be entirely within the safe area, while the actual body, which dictates the color, the color yellow there, extends all the way to the unsafe area. So we save that, and the problem is it's not using height 100%. That is curious. That means the body is not using height 100% either. Okay, so there's a few things to set up here. But really, come to think of it, we want the unsafe area to be under the control of our, maybe not the HTML, but rather the React app. So let's say, hang on, let's grab that padding and background color and let's shove it on the React root, which is called root, not to be confused with that root. Okay, so we save that. And the thing is, anything we change, I don't know, yeah, hot module reload will be handling things for us. So we get rid of this. This is background color yellow. The padding is like this. The body, have the body. Let's have this just under the body actually. So there's our React root. Our React root needs to be full height. So it's going to be height 100%. But that only takes an effect if body is height 100%. And that only takes effect if HTML is height 100%. Whew! Okay. This is good. But those safe area insets are not taking effect, which suggests to me we need to do an extra change in our viewport, which was it had the word cover in it. So let's go to troubleshooting cover, because I remember I looked this up before. There we go. Viewport fit cover. Now I'm surprised that didn't do the trick. Safe area inset top. So really, the root element should be padding itself to avoid the notch, but it's good news that the viewport fit cover is actually covering top to bottom. So I think it's time to start debugging. We're going to develop, we're going to look at the simulator, get the web inspector up and see what is going on in here. So clearly that root is looking a bit weird because it's not taking the full 100% width despite being a block element. And whose fault was that? That's root's own fault, and that's because it's got a min. That's strange. What's determining it? What's stopping it? Oh yeah, it's got max width. I'll do it. No. Who's controlling the width? We take that off, hover over it. Why isn't it? I mean, I can write width. Oh right. I mean, I'm going to write width 100% and see what happens. But we've got padding, which might explain some of it. Okay, hold up. We've got some conflicting padding rules. Where are those coming from? They must be coming from the other app.css. Come on, app.css here. Yeah, take that out, take that out. Okay, and stop hovering this. Huh. How is our padding doing? So our computed value for padding. Oh, that is curious. So despite having written up a padding value, all this env stuff, and we've asked for this, but this rule is not showing up at all. Height 100%. Oh no, there's our rule. So what are these resolving to? Safe area insets. Let me just do something to kind of visualize what safe area inset. Alright, so that actually does something. That number has a value. Top's quite large, which is giving it width. Okay, so that is doing something. So I can actually live without these fallback values, which are actually meaningless. Save it up. Let's get a bit more space here. And I'm a bit confused by all this wrapping, so let's do wrap. Top, right, bottom, left is what was suggested in the docs here. Just check that. Top, right, bottom, left. Okay, yeah. So why is it clashing so badly with the notch? Why is it giving us such dud values for these for this padding? I hope I haven't misunderstood something. So let's go into the Safari Web Inspector again. Move it on. 62 padding top, and if I actually tell this to go into point accurate, pixel accurate, well, we'll find out what that means. If I measure 62, aha, 62 seems about bang on. That seems exactly the safe area we want. So there must be some negative margin or something that's causing those to slip up. Now, what could that be from? Margin has, there's negative margin on the left and right sides. The padding, is the padding basically not doing anything? Does that suggest that does that happen when you're like position static? Let's just check on that. Position relative, please. Doesn't seem to be. Right, I'm just going to refresh because I've commented out a bunch of things. Oh, it remembers those. Surely not. Oh no, that's what it's remembering. So take that out, take that out. Margin, get the margins to normal. Oh, so that's how it was doing with centering. Yeah, fine. It's a little confusing. Logo's got padding. Why is that getting eaten by the notch? So we've got body, we've got HTML. Root. It's got no minus margin. That's got some plus margin. I'm really not sure why this is slipping upwards. If I take that height 100% off, 100% of what will be 100% of? If we made the body position relative, that may or may not help. Position relative, and we'll actually do that on HTML and body. Okay, take the margin to 0. The root should be, so we'll do position relative. You know what? Everything should start off as position relative, I think. That's quite a common CSS reset. Position relative margin not. Yes. Okay, that makes things a bit simpler. What on earth is going on up there? That's curious, but that's all the user agent style sheet, so that'll be irrelevant. Okay, well, if I did look up computed margin, that's all zeros. Zeros. Aha! Margin inline. Oh no, but these are positive. That is strange. There's a 0. Who is setting that though? That's quite curious. Be nice to just get rid of that. Oh, I think I saw it earlier. It was the it's that auto thing, but that's only horizontal, so it's irrelevant. Text align. This is very vexing. I took off those transitions, so some weird rendering issue. Card's got padding, but padding wouldn't explain any of it. It's really negative margin we're looking for, and we're out of ideas at this point. So, main.tsx, you doing anything strange? Index.css. Let's see. Oh, I've not looked at the SVGs themselves. Supposing we moved that up there. Okay, it's got nothing to do with the SVGs. Padding of 62. Why is that not padding against anything? Oh, because this is display flex. God, who does that? There we are. Woo! Right. My philosophy is generally to use flow layout, that's to say, a block and inline until you can't. But I don't know if that's necessarily rational. I do like Flexbox. But, you know, if you just want to lay something out top to bottom, left to right, flow will often mean less setting of styles. So where was that flex hiding? Yeah, putting body on flex, that's a bit unfair. Place items. Align item. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Not heard of that one. Right. So we leave the body unstyled and we see what mess it makes. Oh, it's fine. Min width and min height. You know what? Who cares about all that? So we now have next problem. We've got overscroll. Can we do anything about that? I think that's probably called overscroll behavior. No. I don't know if you put this at a root or an HTML, but oh yeah, that's solvable. Okay. So I think what we want is our color yellow to spill out into the unsafe area. To make this have a sort of native feel, we want our yellow color to spill out into the unsafe area, and we want our contents to most definitely not go into the unsafe area. So the way we handle this, if we go into app.tsx, So VS Code is getting a bit confused because the files got moved around and it's got a cache of their old positions. So our web source goes here. All this is sitting inside the React root. The React root should be. I'm deciding what we should do about overflow. I think ideally we should handle all overflow in the children, so in React land rather than in the HTML. So I think our outermost, we need an outermost true root, which might as well be this. Take that, jump down to the bottom, we'll have a div, and this will have a few responsibilities. So right now, no, but if we did, let's just do this in inline styles for now. We can say, you are going to be, you're going to take up the full height of the React root, which takes the full height of the body, which takes the full height of the HTML. And if you overflow, you're going to be in charge of setting up a scroll bar. So overflow scroll should really be overflow y. Oh, and I think instead of scroll, you do auto is preferred in general. So we want, how can we stop this? Height is 100%. Was clear to me. Okay. HTML and body both have a height 100%. Yes, that's as expected. This root. Hold on. Yeah, the root's got height 100%. So you can see our safe variant effect there. But do we need to set box size? Oh Jesus. Right. Box sizing, border box. Which has had an impact on our SVGs, but we'll probably do what? Yes, that's exactly what we want. So with box sizing border box, which is the best one, we can now have 100% height actually make a bit more sense. So it's 100%, and it's with respect to padding, it is the one that makes more sense. The padding box. Let me just demonstrate this. Where's my box? If you take off box size and border box, these should move around. It's, yeah, I'm a bit too jet lagged to give a good explanation of box sizing, but it dictates where the padding box sits, and we put it into the sensible way around now. So now we have 100%. This is fitting all inside, and look at that. Try scrolling it. There's no overscroll, so it's not going to overscroll, which is just great. So now it's very much like a native app. It's sitting inside a safe area, and we can prove that with by setting another background color. We can pick, is it almond? Blanched almond, isn't it? Oh yes, a bit more professional, and we can change that yellow to something a bit more. I want blanched almond, but with some opacity. I think that would look quite tasteful. I need to know the. Let me copy that. Oh, it's down there. That's perfect. Okay, RGB A, and it's going to be like 0.5. And now we're at the mercy of the. Of whatever dark mode chooses for the actual native background. Oh no, it'll be the HTML background, so that can be. We'll just make that an explicit background color white. Why not? But I think that is probably the default of browsers, even in dark mode. Anyway, we can actually check that out right now. So if we leave the take that background color and we say you have no background, and we switch the appearance to features, toggle appearance. Yeah, it's gone into dark mode and it's done nothing. So I think to actually experience in dark mode, you kind of need to opt into it and design your website around it, which is fine. Okay, now this looks a bit, ever since I removed the margins and padding, ever since I did the CSS resets, some things got a bit odd. So we can make our logos bigger again. That's using class name logo, which is in app.css, I guess, which height. Huh. Okay, so because this is now a box size border box, the padding needs to be added to the height to get back to normal, I'm pretty sure. And then we need to restore our padding on this edit, well, all of these probably. Doobity-doo. Edit. Source. Right. So before the CSS reset, what was the margin on the P? Okay, it was 1M. So we can do a quick style equals padding, padding inline, what was it? Oh yeah, it says padding inline, padding block is 1M. And that fixed it. All right. The fun thing is if you did click with these logos, well, they should open up the web browser. I'm just not sure if I've got any work stuff on Safari, so I'm not going to risk that at the moment. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. And the fun thing is, this whole time, this web page has been coexisting with our little mobile app, so we can count that. Clickety click. We can try dragging this around, but it does nothing because it is masquerading as a native app. Now let's find out what happens when we rotate it. Rotating seems to be disabled. Is that at the phone level? Oh, this is so hard. There's some kind of lock. I don't want to lock the device. Lock rotation. Rotate the. That sounds like it. Yeah. Maybe the info.p list is disabling rotation. I'm not sure on this notched one, like where you actually do the dragging to get the. No? How do I get to the control center? Oh, you do it here, do you? No? Control center. Where are I? Oh boy. Action button, what's that? Alright, well there we are. That's our proving that our web view will take us to Safari when we want. That's my other app, hang on. The balloon, that's where we want to be. So right now I don't have a back button and swiping left disables that. If I merely press the R button or do a Control Apple Z, reload, we can go back. So what was I trying to do? I was trying to rotate it. Like that? Nope. So rotation is clearly locked, and that's going to be in Xcode. The info plist. Supported interface orientations. If I just temporarily disabled those, so just take that off, save, rebuild. Let's see some rotation. Hey, it rotates, and you can see it's avoiding the bottom, and it's exactly. Oh, it's avoiding the bottom. Yes, okay, cool. So the main thing I wanted was for the text not to ever slide under the bar. It's so as the app developer, it is our responsibility to make sure everything works within this scroll box, which we'll persevere on. Okay, that's good, good, good. And then what I want to do is just see a bit of overflow. So I'm gonna copy this a bunch of times. Oh, we're gonna need way more of those. Okay. I mean, that works perfectly. That's exactly what we want, I think. Job done. Whether, okay, it's curious. Like, on a native app, would you expect that to bounce back? I don't know. Out of curiosity, if I did grab over scroll behavior, is that a cascading property in the first place? Scroll behavior. Not inherited. Okay, so we would need to opt into it on every single component, including this one. Oh, the scroll behavior. None. So I'm just kind of curious how. All right. Well, that's what it would be like, and I'd have to sort of review against Apple apps to figure out, does that feel more or less native, the lack of bounce. But it's just amazing. Like a lot of these features, they're effortless to write with web tech, but I just have no idea how I'd write the same thing in React Native. Or I do have an idea, and that idea is it's impossible. React Native lacks a lot of web features. So we've learned more about Elite and React, so we can get rid of that. And I think that's pretty good progress. So we can make a quick commit here. Yeah, why not? That looks good. And yeah, we might. Well, I don't really want to commit these changes to info.plist about making the app rotatable because it's nice to stick with the Expo default template. And if we've got any changes, we should really inscribe those into a config plugin. Maybe we should do that before we commit this. Apps example, app.json. No. There must be an info plist plugin. I know how to write a brand new plugin for it, but I'm just wondering how you actually express that. Otherwise. Well, let's leave it aside for now. So if I just stash that file and I say rotatable, let's say support make safe area responsibility of web app. Fun. Push. Alrighty. And has Have those changes been coming through to my Android tablet, I wonder? Mhm. That's so strange. I don't see where the app is on my home screen. Hmm. Here we are. Oh, yes. Oh, cool. All right. Well, there's the app on. Let's make this off almond a bit more, make it green or whatever, so it's really obvious. Why isn't it refreshing? Refresh green. Oh no, sorry, that's text color. Right, got lost. That. So if we change this to green, no, please. Hmm. Let us dive again into the web page and we shall refresh it. We asked for green, did we not? Background color is no longer hot updating, so I think our web dev server has gone and died, so I'm just going to reboot it, and then we refresh the page. Oh, WebKit is having problems. Wasn't expecting that. Huh. Right, let's give Safari another chance to redeem itself. You. Fine. Can I do it myself with location to reload? Something is not happy. Let's refresh the web view. Oh dear. Hmm. Well, well, well. Okay, let's restart a bunch of things. So we restart the Metro server. We reopen iOS app. Veach was restarted recently, so that's fine. No script URL. No? Dear oh dear. It's actually working. Hmm. I mean, we just restarted Expo. Gonna try running it again without rebuilding. You can do that with Control Command R. But it seemed like Expo, the Metro dev server was, yeah. I mean, even if you click reload there, something seems very ill. It's got nothing. It's quite unlike anything I've seen before. No script URL provided. Make sure the package is running. Well, it is. Or you have embedded a JS bundle in your application. Well, I don't need to embed a JS bundle because I am in debug mode. So, alright, let's find out what's happening to bundle URL. Dive in here. And I know there's quite a bit of digging before you actually get an introspectable bundle URL. So, come on. Still don't have this. Keep going. Who called you? Okay. So remember last time I was digging around here, strong self, the bundle URL, couldn't show you the bundle URL, but weak self could. It's just the LVM is often really bad at giving you information you want. Oh! Why is that suddenly invalid? Because I was hoping by now we'd be able to see that. Come on. Get me out of here. I want to see the URL. It's just mode. I'd love to see at some point that bundle URL. Let's just add an expression there. The bundle manager might be our last chance. Get out here. And then do you have the URL written into you? No. Fine. Okay, fine. It's really discouraging. So things that could be wrong. Either the simulator can't either the simulator's having problems connecting to things which are actually there, but the fact that my Android tablet is also having problems suggests it really is Metro's fault. Okay, we can debug this because it's supposed to be running. Alright, let's use Firefox. It's supposed to be running. Yeah, why not? Well, the fact that we get no response from that does imply Metro is dead, but very much believing it's alive. So, well, what can I really do except kill Metro a few more times? That's really annoying. Stop server. Oh, that's very interesting. The moment I stop the server, my Android tablet started happily displaying the app again after being completely alright. So, clear that. Start Metro yet again, although I've already done this once or twice. Let's wait for the logo to. There we are. Reload. Alright, fine. That makes no sense. I restarted it once or twice already, but third time is a charm. So, meanwhile, my Android tablet needs to be told to refresh. Oh, I wonder, is the Android tablet failing to HMR because it can only HMR if it makes a WebSocket connection, and that's only possible if that port is reverse proxied into it. But hopefully the HMR port is just the same as the packager port. Hopefully. Okay. Well. How do you open the debug menu on a physical Android device? I do believe if I open a terminal, there was an ADB, reverse. That's what I want. That is a magic command to open the React Native debug dev menu on a physical device. So that should pop up. Yeah, there we go. That's it. I'm going to manually tell it to reload by clicking the top one. If I missed that, reload please. And it will take its time. And you'll see the thing that's vexing me is we've got this white bar at the top, which is curious for the reason that it's not green, but also not so curious because I know safe area insets are a bit weird in Android, and edge to edge is a thing which I've not yet read up on. So I'm sort of wondering if that white thing at the top is just the status bar. So at this point, we would probably go into our app.tsx for the React Native app, and we would want something which I've uninstalled, which is once I get some space back from these main terminals, we'll do a bun add Expo status bar. I mean, you could do an Expo add, but I don't think it'll make any difference in this case. So we've got Expo status bar, and that might actually be linked already if the Expo SDK just gives it to us, but we'll find out soon enough. If something crashes, we'll know. Expo status bar, there we go. We get status bar. I mean, we could do this as a fragment, I think. And there's a background color, which we shall make orange. What's wrong with that? Alright. React.fragment. Why? So TypeScript's clearly been set up wrong. Because from a certain version of React, 18 or something, you're no longer supposed to need that. Alright, so we can get rid of that. Expo status bar. From. Fine, I think we need that. Status bar could not be found. I thought Metro could cope with a reinstall while it was still running. Apps example. Fine, we shall restart Metro grudgingly. We shall refresh the app grudgingly. And it hasn't crashed, but I am curious. So my theory is that it was already auto-linked just because Expo includes it in the SDK or something. Yeah, I was right. So Expo status bar was already auto-linked. So what we're going to try to do is get the Android app to refresh. Oh, please calm down a bit. Oh, it's probably getting loads of file watch notifications because I just did a pod install. I'm surprised Expo actually watches the iOS folder, so let's just view. Right, that's good. Restart Expo yet again. And tell you to reconnect to it. No. Tell it to reconnect to you. Android has gone black. Still black. And that might imply we need to recompile it now that we've installed status bar. Oh well, I was lucky briefly. So let's go to Android Studio. We shall connect to that. We shall rerun it. Which will take a while. Ho hum. Alright, that was quick. So it's, oh yes! Oh, that's very satisfying. Huh. I'm a little confused. Okay, so Expo status bar has given us the orange status bar that we asked for. But something's definitely up with the, well, you can see there's no padding whatsoever there, which is very different to how things are on iOS. And that is probably because the status bar must be opaque. Let's see the options for this. Translucent equals true. There we are. Okay. So if we made this transparent, is that an allowed color? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. It does appear to be working. That's unbelievable. All right. We have the safe area. Banging. Wow, 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 wow. That's really encouraging. But it just seems a little high to the top. Because when I make it opaque, that React logo is supposed to have like 20 pixels above it. But in reality, the React logo is actually like going off screen a bit. It's going to be a bit hard to debug this without Chrome DevTools. Well, let's start with the touch-based DevTools. Oh, actually, oh, this is crazy. I can just click Open DevTools there, and I think. Yes, okay. Components. Let's see how big this web view is. Where is my web? Is that the web view? With DevTools. This is unreadable. It's not the debugging overlay. I know it's... There we are, that must be it. Okay. Because it's side by side with the status bar, the sibling. Okay. So I'm going to hover over this, and... Oh, yes. You see from the hovering that it does... Well, it's a bit hard to see, even on my side. But when you hover over it, it's clear that that web view takes up the entire screen. And the status bar doesn't highlight at all. That's probably just a limitation of the fact that it's very native. Well, so one question I suppose is why we inspect. Ugh. That is strange, isn't it? Where are they getting their padding from is my question. So that, oh, it's margin, right? Okay, hold up. That is some very weird HTML. Okay. So it's a div with no margin. You've got an anchor, which is like line height. Line height 2, 1. Oh no. Font size 72. So that, I don't understand where that, what's making it 19 pixels tall. Because it's got nothing to do with the intrinsic size of that logo. Layout. 19 doesn't show up in any of that, so there's no text mode in here, is there? .NOT.child nodes. It's only got one child node. So when you mouse over it, I do not understand why it gives that. Is this some weird flexbox thing? Does this have flexbox styling on it? No. Position relative. Display block. So, okay. Ignoring the height, it's sizing to take the width of that logo. The logo has got no margin, it's got a bit of padding. Oh! That's really interesting. Because that's exactly what I was seeing on Android. What I was seeing on Android was the React logo kind of going off, clipping off screen like this, where the top of the screen is the status bar. So there is something just weird in this H. It's almost like it's a cross-browser disagreement. I wonder if we did, if we viewed that in Safari, how would it look? Padding on. Okay, so it's just the fact that my whatever web view is on my very old Android tablet is just not applying that padding. At least I think. If I tried bumping it up, what would happen? Yoink. Let's put that to purple. Yeah, okay, that's going completely off. Paddings was in the app.tsx padding. Not this. No, it's SVG. Padding. Not this. So it's in app.tcss. Padding. There we go. Now, get rid of you. Oh boy. Well, that's how it looks on the Android app. It's very clipped off screen. So the question is that a web view issue? Google Chrome. If only I could connect. If I could get like Chrome DevTools to connect to the web view on this, then I could really look into that. But it would be a lot easier to do it on a simulator actually, so I'll hope that it's reproducing. Yeah, so let's run on Pixel. Run that. That's probably a very good. Yes, okay, sweet. Now you can see what I'm saying. Now, can the Chrome DevTools see that? There we go. Developer, DevTools, with Ah, it was some weird place, wasn't it? It was Chrome Inspect or something. That, isn't it? So we do that in Chrome. Inspect devices. Okay. That better be it. Yes. Emulate. Wow. Lucky, lucky me. So we can actually inspect that. Inspect. And, oh! I can inspect one of the physical devices as well. That's incredible. All right. Well, let's. Hey! All right. What is going on here? Da-ba-dum. Okay. So. How do I begin on? So that. Oh! That's different to Safari. How Safari handled it. Yes, in Safari, we'll recall that. Um, oh no, that's overlapping in Safari. Okay, that's consistent now. So why? Oh no, that is now all finally consistent. So the thing that was weird was how it handled it with padding. Okay, that's clearly got some padding there. That's got some padding there. That's got some padding there. And then only on a physical device does it lack that padding at the top. So what is going on? This is the Homer Simpson. Why doesn't mine look like that? Well, we can try inspecting it. It's lying! Oh no, I think I see. Right, okay, I think I know what's going on. Translucent equals false, and we're done. Yeah, that's gone and fixed it. Okay. Right, so I'll explain. When translucent was true, the status bar was overlapping. But normally the thing that would make that viable is that the safe area insets would allow you to pad appropriately to avoid the status bar. But because it's doing two things, one, it's giving a translucent status bar which overlaps your content, but also not filling in these safe area insets, which I had. Where is it? Index.css. Because Android is filling those in as 0, we're getting the worst of both worlds. So unless that new, what's it called, edge to edge functionality like makes web views aware of safe area insets, then I think we're just going to have to tell the status bar to be opaque. Alright, that is very good progress. So we can. Do we like the partially blanched almond? I think, yeah. Let's keep partially blanched almond. We've installed status bar. Okay. And we had to bring in React because we're using a fragment. Fine. And are they ordered the way? Alphabetically, not quite. DE. I think that's right. Alright, handle safe area on Android. Handle status bar. Default Android web view doesn't populate safe area inset. No way to compensate it. The best we can do is make the status bar big. Right, push. And I'm just curious to actually jump into Google Chrome at this point. So that's our Android tablet, our physical Android tablet. And I am curious what values we actually get for safe area insets. If I hover, does it tell me? How do you normally do this? Yeah, empty string. Empty string was not the answer I was expecting. If I change that to like full back to 20, whoops, 20 pixels. Huh. Is it just finding it invalid? No. You should be able to write unitless when it's a 0. But let's play the game. There's a very old browser. That is strange. That's very, very, very strange. That doesn't seem right. I don't know if everyone could see that. What is a computer padding? Padding's nothing. Oh! Is it? Okay. Perhaps this browser is so old it doesn't understand env, so it doesn't matter that you're putting a 20 pixel fallback in. It's just going to no op on that. I think that explains it. What is this browser anyway? Do a navigator user agent. That sounds old. Chrome. Oops. Let's go into Firefox. How old is this browser? .131.0. Huh. This browser's from December. It should know about env, so unless env still isn't supported on Chrome. Oh, that's weird. We've got the meta tag. Yeah, done all of that. Browser compat is for Chrome. Yeah, we should have been able to use this for the last 6 years. So, it is a mystery. Maybe there's a difference between like the actual browser and the embedded web view that they make public. Oh well, I don't think we're going to solve that. So the next thing I want to do is some two-way communication. So we want to do things like add a button in there. Here's our web app button. We'll do this. Do something native. What we're going to do is something native to do. When you click this, we are going to call some WebKit message handler. Now I can never remember how to write this because there's two ways to write it. You know what? Get rid of account. We don't need that. Well, I'll keep it around. Right, let's just put div. Wrap that in a div. But I like them on top of each other. Or should we just display block this? Display block. Yeah. I'll grab that. Save it up. Mini isn't padding. Okay. Display block. Padding. No block will be when. Huh? Alright. Pretty sure it's block. Why isn't that working? Padding, block. Oh, it's margin we want apparently. Yes, of course it's margin, yeah. Alright. There we go. That's alright. They are spaced. So now what? We want to do something native. We're going to do our two-way communication finally after all that, which means we need to read the React Native WebView docs, which are here. Or we could just cheat and open up one of my old. Yes, let's go into one of my other projects. Paranol 2. Pretty sure I called it Paranol. Fine. Your repositories. There we go. If I go source app, library screen, which one? Book screen. I'm making an ebook reader, so I have a web view around over there. Let's just double check. Oh, someone was talking. It just wasn't showing up in my OBS. Yeah, that's just invisible in OBS. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, OBS has fixed itself. Right. What was I going to do? I was going to do some messaging. So we shall have an on-message callback. Why not? Yeah, why not? Use callback. It all starts with this. We are going to have all of that. Import, and then that should be a type import because we are polite. And we are going to do a similar thing here. Let's just let's see. We can have a couple of things. So I'm going to have a way to kind of project logs out from the web context up to the native context, and I'm going to have a way to make a native alert. So type alert, and yeah, why not message? What we're going to do is the native event has some data, and I'm pretty sure we just JSON parse that. Our payload types are going to be that. We're going to have alert and lookup. Okay. And then it'll be like that. We'll do a switch on the parsed dot type. So of course I really should do a to do validate parsed message to make sure it's actually what we're expecting it to be. So case, in the case of a log message, we'll just console.log on the React Native side what the parsed message was, and just good habit to put that in the box there. And then in the case of a alert, we shall do alert using the standard library. Alert with the title parsed message and would break. And then if it's anything else, throw new error unknown message parsed type. I mean, TypeScript's not even letting me do that. That's fine. We're not even going to bother. Alrighty. So that's how we react to the message, and we are going to use that as our the font size is a bit small, a bit lost. And then on message, where would that be? Ah, yeah, just that. And we'll take these along for a ride. JavaScript enabled, and that is a const. On message is that. Yes. Okay. We don't need load start load end. We might want to inject some JavaScript later. Let's see, file access. Okay, that's all we need. We only need on message and JavaScript enabled. And then on the other side, how do we actually communicate up? WebKit or WebView? There we go. Window.reactnative.postMessage. This will do the trick. So this is how you talk back up to a web view. That'll do. Log to React Native. Do that. Window add any for now. The message is going to be hello from the web view. Okay. And then the other thing we're going to try is show a native alert. I'm going to do type alert. Okay. Alert from the web view, in a way. All right, let's see if that actually works. Because hot module reload will have hopefully swapped out the message handlers successfully. If it doesn't work, I'll be a little embarrassed because I think I was the one who implemented that about 6 years ago. So let's show a native alert. Yes! All right. That's very good. That's very good going. And we can do show a native alert on the Android tablet. How is that going to look? Hey! Alert from WebView. That's working perfect. And then if we get our bundler up, so we can actually keep an eye on messages, or Chrome DevTools, if we prefer, we can do log to React Native and it says hello from WebView. So we've got two-way communication. So in, I don't know how long that's been, like an hour, we've set up both safe area handling and two-way communication. I think that's pretty good going, especially after we ran into several issues along the way, which were quite vexing. So that's pretty good haul. So, rough and ready to. This is web view to React Native communication messaging. Push that. So the next things I want to do after that is sort of promise handling. So to actually fire off a promise from the web view that the native side then does some work towards and then responds with a message that the web view can then resolve on. Though I do think it's probably time for a break. I am quite jet lagged. So let's just check how long the video been. Doesn't even. Oh, it started streaming 101 minutes ago, so this has been going nearly 2 hours. I think probably a good place to take a break. So, hope you've enjoyed it. Catch you next time. Just as people are joining the stream. Oh well, catch you next time.